Greetings. I'm Julie Brown, supportive care counselor here at Hospice Peterborough, and I wanted to share a quote and some thoughts about National Grief and Bereavement Day. One of my favorite quotes about grief is by an American rabbi, Earl Grolman, and I really like what he has to say. So his quote is, "Grief is not a disorder, a weakness, or a disease. It is an emotional, physical, and spiritual necessity, the price you pay for love. The only cure for grief is to grieve." The only cure for grief is to grieve. And I love that quote because it speaks to the wide impact of grief on our lives, that it is emotional, it is physical, it is spiritual, and it also really normalizes the grief experience in terms of grieving is something that we have to do as human beings. And so often in my work here at hospice, I hear people judging themselves, people expecting that they should be over it by now, or they should be doing better by now. But grief is a process, and it's something that we have to find our way through. And in many respects, grief actually never goes away. We just learn to live with it. We learn to carry it differently. So on this National Day, my invitation to you would be, can you meet and be with your grief, and however it's showing up in your life, whether it's through fatigue, cognitive fog, irritability, deep sadness, pain, your suffering, can we turn to that suffering and have a tender compassion with it, knowing that you're exactly where you need to be on your grief journey. We don't need to judge it. We don't need to push ourselves over it or around it, that we can be with it and meet it with this compassion, and just know that all things change, and our grief and our journey on our grief experience changes too. Thank you.